Do you feel uncertain, anxious, worried about whether all the effort you're putting in now is actually going to pay off? I know that feeling. Before I left my job as a full-time GP or family doctor, I was burning out. I couldn't see my way forward. It took moving halfway around the world to Australia to realise something important. I was in control of my future, not because I controlled life, but because I controlled how I responded to it. In this video, I'm going to share 3 things you need to know to recover from life's challenges. Hi, I'm Dr. Finbar McGrady, and on this channel, we share the mindset tools and real stories to help you grow, respond, and thrive. One of the biggest reasons we struggle with life's problems is that we keep pushing long after our mind and body are asking for a break. We push because we think stopping is failure. We push because we're afraid of what will happen if we don't. We push because somewhere inside us, we have learned that endurance is admirable, even if it's killing us slowly. But here's the truth. You can't recover from anything until you become aware that you need recovery. And awareness doesn't happen in motion. It happens in space, in the gap between one breath and the next, in the moment you allow yourself to stop and actually see what's going on. When I was burning out, I didn't notice it at first. I kept showing up, kept working, kept thinking I just needed to try harder. I ignored the pain in my gut on the drive into work. I blamed the system, the environment, everything that was out of my control. But internally, the pressure was building. Stress can blind us. It narrows down our world into a tunnel. And until you create space, you can't see past the walls of that tunnel. Space gives your mind a chance to breathe. That's when you start to see the patterns that you've been caught in. That's when you realise this isn't something sustainable. Something needs to change. Awareness is the first step towards recovery, and it's impossible without space. This is where I want to bring in a Chinese philosophy that has helped me shape my own life. Yin and Yang. The push and pull of life. Most of us spend far too much time in the yang, the pushing, the striving, the effort, productivity, the doing. And that's really important. It's how we build things. But if all you do is push, eventually cracks appear and you break. Recovery, reflection, relaxation, that's the yin. And the yin isn't weakness, it's balance, it's alignment. Think of an athlete training hard to get fitter and stronger. They don't get fitter during the training. They get fitter in the recovery. They need both the yang of the training and the yin of the recovery to improve. Life works exactly the same way. You can't push your way out of every challenge. Sometimes you need to step back, pause, and let your mind settle so that you can see clearly again. And this brings me to one of the ideas that changed my life, riding the waves of life. It's a visualization that came to me in a reflective yin moment. My cousin Niall was a brilliant musician, but he only got to release one album before cancer took him at the age of 36. It was devastating for all of us. His song resides inside my head and teaches me still. Life is like waves. Some are gentle, some are wild, some are unexpected, and some feel like they're going to swallow you whole. Most people try to control the wave. They fight it, they resist it, they shout at it, brace against it, but you can't control a wave, you ride it. When you resist the wave, it crashes over you. When you move with it, it carries you forward. The wave isn't the problem. Fighting the wave is the problem. And once you realise that life moves in cycles, pressure, release, calm, and chaos, you stop taking every difficult moment as a personal failure. You see it for what it is, a wave passing through. Recently, I was at an audience event with the former world boxing champion, Mike Tyson, and he said something that really struck me. He talked about how none of us can truly control life. Things happen, life hits you unexpectedly, and he famously said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. What he meant is that control is an illusion. You can't control the punches, you can only control your stance. And this echoed something I learned years ago from Michael Singer, the author of The Untethered Soul. Singer taught me that surrender isn't giving up, it's letting go of the constant internal resistance that creates suffering. It's accepting that life is going to move the way it moves. The more you fight reality, the more you hurt. The moment you stop resisting, clarity appears. And here's the part that ties everything together. You don't control life, but you do control your response. And your response is what shapes your future. Once I understood that, everything changed. I wasn't in control of the waves that were coming at me, but I was completely in control of how I chose to ride them. That's when my life opened up again. That's when I realized I had options, even when I previously believed I didn't. So how do you recover from life's challenges? Well, here are the 3 things I want you to take away. First, create space. Space creates awareness, and awareness creates choice. Without space, you stay stuck in reaction. With space, you can respond. Second, honor the yin and the yang. Push when it's time to push, rest when it's time to rest. Recovery isn't the opposite of progress, it's a requirement for progress. And thirdly, ride the wave of life. Stop trying to control everything. Stop fighting the sea. Let the wave carry you instead of resisting. And here's why this matters. When you stop fighting every wave, and when you allow yin to balance yang, your mind becomes clearer, and clarity is what leads to confident decision making. Most people make decisions while stressed, overwhelmed, or reacting. And that's when we make our worst choices. But when you respond instead of react, your decisions become much calmer and more aligned to the life you actually want. So, recovering from challenges isn't just about feeling better, it's about thinking better. It's about choosing better. It's about trusting your decisions again, because when you create space, confidence returns. And if you want to go deeper into confidence, real confidence, watch my next video, how to become very confident. And in it, I share 4 real moments from my life that helped me stop reacting and start responding. If you're ready to build your confidence in decisions, that's where to go next.